I'm Ranger Tegan here at Mammoth Cave National Park. I am standing in the dark to tell you a story by candlelight. Now, this story was first written down in the 1840s. It goes back to the early 1800s. It's about a miner who labored at the saltpetre works. And one day, this miner is told to go up into a place called Gothic Avenue to collect some cave dirt, bring it back to the works. And as he's traveling into Gothic Avenue, also referred to as the Haunted Chambers, he starts to realize this is the first time he's been alone in Mammoth Cave. It starts to make him a little bit scared. As he's making his way back, eventually he finds a good place, gathers up some dirt, and turns around to start to leave, go back out. And as the miner is making his way back out, he's starting to get tired. And he thinks that he has gone a lot further on the way out than he did on the way in. He thinks he's missed his turn. So he decides to turn around, go back in. As he makes his way back to the place where he'd gathered the dirt, he realizes he's missed his turn again. So he turns around a second time. As he's making his way out of Gothic Avenue a second time, he starts to become a bit more fearful. That fear turns to terror. And in that terror, he starts to jog. He starts to run. And running in Mammoth Cave is never a good idea, especially not by firelight. So what happens next is he trips. He drops his lantern. He's plunged into darkness. And in that darkness, a thought occurs to him. He realizes if he couldn't find his way out by firelight, he's not going to find his way out in the dark. So what he decides to do next, so I think what any rational person would do, he decides to shout and yell for help. Because of how loud the saltpetre works was, no one could hear him yell. So after a few hours of yelling, his voice grows hoarse. And what he does next is he starts to pray. He starts to think of anything other than where he finds himself. He starts to think of his family, of his friends, of his life, his accomplishments, his regrets, his sins. And as he begins to list his sins, he starts to think, really, really, truly believe that perhaps he has died and a judgment has been passed upon him. And he's looking around and he's not noticing any fluffy white clouds. So he thinks he must have been sent to the other place. And just as that thought occurs to him, he starts to hear a bellowing from down the passageway. And he sees what looks like to him to be two orange eyes coming closer. And as they get upon him, he starts to flail and yell and scream just to realize it was his friends coming to rescue him. Those two orange eyes were two orange lanterns. I think this story is a testament that sometimes the scariest thing is our imagination. Also a testament to that is the fact that I'm standing here in a closet